Welcome back, travelers, to another episode of Fate of the Norns Fireside Chat.
You could title it Rebooty. Yes,
The Fireside Rebooty. I have the honor and privilege to be talking with Alphinius Gu.
Yes.
We met for the very first time here in Genghis Khan.
It is my honor. Thank you.
Excuse our voices. This is the last day.
bad.
Everyone's breaking down their booths around us as
Yeah,
we have this chat. So he invited me to his Facebook group, and he piqued my curiosity enough that I said, you know what? There was an event. I never get to go to events during conventions, but I went to your opening night live stream event with
the Great GUI Dungeon Game Show. Yes.
There we go. That's just going to roll right off my
Yes,
tongue.
it's a terrible name, Andrew. It's terrible. We should have named it something else, but that's what we named it. The Great GUI Dungeon Game Show. Yes. Well,
I love it. And the GM is the Riz, man. The Riz.
Oh, thank you. And your man Ken.
Yes.
Got called up. Yes. Ken is behind the camera. We see you back there, Ken. Look, there is his hand. You need to manicure.
So it was really nice to actually be in an event, and such an entertaining event. How did you come up with that idea?
So honestly, we did a live stream with just 4 players where they went through a dungeon, right? And we live streamed for the folks on the Twitch channel who were watching us. I think it was during COVID, so we couldn't have had anybody in the place in the first place, right? They really, really loved it. And it was sort of short-shrifted TTRPG. It was quick, so we weren't spending all this time in combat, right? All that stuff, right? We came out of that, and all these people sent us stuff. They said we really loved it. And so we actually came to Donnie and Andrea here at Genghis Khan.
Phenomenal.
Are they
convention hosts?
Amazing.
The best.
Amazing.
The best.
I agree with you. And I love them both. They're magnificent. So we went to them and said, we got this idea.
Yeah.
You want to try this Great GUI Dungeon Game Show?
Really?
Right? And they said,
that was what year?
I don't remember if it was 2019. I apologize.
Oh,
I don't remember exactly. Anyway, so we came up here and we had it on the opening night.
Right.
And the damn thing was packed, with all these people. We give away lots of prizes. It's a lot of fun.
The wheel, when did you come up with the wheel?
Kismia's wheel.
Yeah,
Kismia is a god in the world of Xiaofei, the goddess of luck.
Right.
And so Kismia's wheel, of course, fits naturally to it, and it just worked. And we get to bring celebrities, of course, come up there. Yes, in fact, you should be on there next year. You should be a little celebrity with us, Andrew.
Okay.
You put that in your mind. You talk to Donnie and Andrea.
We'll make it happen.
We'll see if we can put you up there and have you represent someone out there.
It might get a little crazy. The last time I got invited was at Gary Con, and I got a pre-gen with I had a cleric that could summon a holy mount. And it was a dungeon crawl.
Yes.
And we got into the final room, and I said, I summoned my mount. And the GM did not even realize there was summoned mount on them. He's like, what the hell are you doing? You can't do that.
And yet there it was. Yes, I can. It's on the sheet.
You gave me the
sheet you gave me. That's right.
So be careful what you give me. I will make use of it.
No, it'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful. And so then, now we got 200 people in the audience out there.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. And at Gen Con, we're actually, this year, we're doing it at Gen Con, we're going to be on the big stage.
Oh, wow.
So that means
incredible.
like 1,000 people,
Congratulations.
Oh, look, it's Mark. Mark with his bad toe. Yes. He dropped a lead miniature on it. Most people today don't know what a lead miniature is.
No.
It might have been
you say Pal Ratha or Ralph Partha.
Ralph
date
Partha.
yourself right away.
Love this little con. Been coming quite a while. I think 2018 was my first time I was here.
Okay.
And it really, they just do a wonderful job, as you know.
Yeah, so this was our very first year. And we showed up Wednesday because I thought Wednesday was a setup day. So Thursday, the con hadn't even started yet. Yeah. And I'm like, I think we're coming back.
Yeah.
Like it was such a nice vibe.
The room feels nice. All the games, they got so many wonderful games. They bring a number of really good groups up for game mastering and running things. I can't say enough nice things about Genghis Khan.
And even the hotel staff were like bending over backwards, whatever we needed.
Yeah.
So tell me, when did you start? Like, how did you start in this industry? What took you out of advertising? Or you're still in advertising?
No, I'm still. Remember, the fastest way to $1 million in the game business.
Start with 2 million.
Start with 2 million and go into the game business. Yes, that is exactly right. I've been gaming since my teens, right? So the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And we gamed, and I've always thought about publishing things, and people have told me you should publish this, right?
Right.
And of course, advertising agencies, we publish a lot of things. That's what we do, right?
Yep.
We just publish them on behalf of clients. And so in 2017, we started a little project as a side project in the advertising agency to kind of see how we might publish something. And so over the next year, we crafted our world guide and chapter 1 of our flagship campaign, which is called the Red Star Rising campaign.
Red Star Rising.
Yes.
So it's a series of adventures?
In boxes.
Box sets. You brought back the
I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that, but it's amazing.
No, they're so much better now, though. Do you remember the ones from the 80s? Greyhawk, Forgotten Realms. You put 2 boxes together. The top one's crushing the bottom one already.
Yeah.
But now with the advent of board games, I mean, you could chuck that off a 5th-story building.
Absolutely.
It'll survive.
Save your stuff. Yes, that's exactly right. So we started making this stuff, and we went to Gen Con in 2019. We got into Entrepreneurs Row. That was the only way you could get in.
That's how it starts.
Right? Because if you don't get there, right, you really can't get in.
Yep.
And so they were wonderful to us, and lo and behold, we did well. You know, people liked it, and we got a lot of good positive response. And the next thing you know, we were back again in 2020, and here, you know, then COVID hit. Right, last convention we were at was SaltCon. Have you been there?
No, I haven't. But we were at PAX East.
Okay.
And at the last minute, like Microsoft, Nintendo, Square Enix, they were all pulling out. So it was such a weird vibe to have half of the show floor just empty. And those are like the biggest publishers. And that's where everyone started using the P word. And we were like, okay, what's going to happen next? Like, are we getting to any other cons? Or is this the end of the world? Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok. Yes, I yelled that as I walked by earlier. Yeah. No, it was obviously a very strange and weird time for all of us. And by the way, it's great to be back, right? It's great to not really have to wear masks anymore and be able to smile at people and do all that stuff, which is wonderful. And I just I feel so blessed to have people who like what we're doing and friends, and thank you for having us here and letting us talk to other people.
This is what I love about this industry is everyone is so supportive of each other. When someone's launching something, everyone's like, how can I help you boost your signal? And speaking of boosting signals, you and Luke are about to embark on a nice Kickstarter. Tell me about that.
So this is the Tomb of Geisengax. And what happened was I met Luke at GaryCon, and I told him that I'd put in this area in our world called East Rodesti. I'd put in a place called Geisengax.
Okay.
And I did that as a nod to his father. Thank you. Homage, right?
Man.
And I said, I'd love to do an adventure there with you.
Very cool.
And Luke said, yeah. And it made my day, you know, and I saw him all squeeing, you know, oh, yeah,
fanboy,
yeah, all that stuff.
So you guys co-authors on this or co-designers?
So yes, we're going to, I'm probably going to do most of the heavy lifting on the writing. Luke just has a lot going on, but we've already collaborated 2 times already on ideas and different things, thrown a lot of stuff back and forth, sent a lot of emails. So, you know, there's going to be all kinds of Easter eggs.
Very cool.
And, you know, I mean, the town of F-Home, which is an anagram of
Hamlet. Yes, that's where I started, Temple of Elemental Evil.
You know, that was where Luke started.
Oh, yeah?
So this is the tale, right? The tale is Hamlet was where Luke's character, his first character, Melf, right? Melf's acid arrow.
That's
and Melf's minute meteors. Yes, those are the 2.
Yes, that Unearthed Arcana, I think, added that one.
Yes, and so that was his first place. And so we have Ethholm, which is kind of the good guy town.
Yeah, and then
we have Blund.
That's the bad guy town.
No, yes, no. And if everything goes well, maybe someday we'll do a sequel called The Temple of Existential Evil, which I think is kind of magnificent. If you know what existential means, it could be quite bizarre.
Yes, the Temple of Anxiety-Inducing Mushrooms.
Yes. I mean, we were playing all kinds of things. We had a wonderful chat. We went out, my wife and I went out, met the family. I'd met his one daughter, Miriam, first. And just a wonderful little family. And lo and behold, we have the ghost of Gerald Geisengax, who's representing Gary.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah,
that is a very nice touch.
No, it's more than this. Andrew, I'm going to blow your mind. So we started reaching out to some of Luke's friends and friends of Gary.
Okay, so the OG crowd, the Greyhawk, the Greyhawk gang.
Forgotten Realms, right? So Skip and Penny Williams, Errol Otis, Larry Elmore.
Oh, Errol Otis, that was such a unique art style that's like synonymous with the old basic D&D.
Yeah, magnificent, yes. Just wait till you see. Just a litany of legends who are characters in
that adventure.
The tale.
Oh, nice. So,
literally, many of them with their own faces turned into the characters that they describe.
What's after this for you?
So this will be a very big project, and then we have to finish off the Red Star Rising campaign. And then if all goes well, we will move to our second continent in the world of Xayathe, which is called Sundestia.
Okay.
And all of our the world of Xyothe is inspired by our world, and I wanted to do that, right? So if you really look at Verdestia, which is where we are now, it's really inspired by Western Europe to Eastern Europe, but also the Americas. So we kind of mashed it all together, yes, and sort of took inspiration from that. Well, Sundestia is sort of like the Near East, North, Central, and South Africa. We've kind of mashed that all together, and we're really trying hard that the American mythology, right, the
Native American or Mesoamerican?
There is some in Verdestia.
That's after my heart, man.
Yes, I love it.
After Norse mythology, Mesoamerican's my second favorite.
Love it. So we got that in Verdestia. Now we move more to this southern area. Now we've got Egyptian mythology mixed in with some of the Near Eastern stuff, right? So, you know, some of India and Pakistan and those before we start moving to farther in Asia.
And then you've got thousands of days.
Oh, and an amazing opportunity to make a different feeling place.
It's important.
So it doesn't just everything sort of feel like Europe.
If you don't like it, you go somewhere else. Yes. Now, your books, you said they come in boxes.
They do.
Are they for any system or
we are mostly for
system?
5th edition. That's what we do. Although our Kickstarter, we're also going to do an OSR version.
Okay.
So we're excited about that. All of our tales and lore books are obviously system agnostic, which most people's lore books and those kinds of things are. But we have written for the 5th edition because it is the most popular. But there is some discussion about branching out to other systems now.
Fate of the Norns, maybe?
Yes, we can have a chat about that.
I got to get you in on a game.
Yeah, yes, you do.
Yes,
except for I'm going to be at GaryCon and you're going to be at PAX East.
Yeah. So our message is to Chris and Luke. Can you guys please put your conventions on different weekends? We definitely want to attend both.
Indeed.
Yeah, every single year.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, what are your next cons? Where are you going?
So we will be at Gary next, yes, and then after that we'll be at Gen Con, and we keep trying very hard to get into PAX Unplugged, and we have not been able to crack that nut, so to speak. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just been difficult. They're fairly sold out. So if you've already
they've got room, I'll put in a word for you with them.
Yeah. Put in a little word. Say
for the goo.
Say yes. Yes. PAX Unplugged needs a little goo.
Yes, you're a little bit light on the goo, Unplugged.
I mean, Norse mythology obviously is wonderful, right? And built around this, created so much richness, right?
Well, like the crafting system that most systems use today come from the Eddas, from the dwarves, and things like that. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You know, I mean, that was not English, right? That was all coming out of the northern realms, right?
Exactly.
Of Europe, right? And of course, Tolkien brought it, you know, and made it this magnificent thing.
And he knew Old Norse. He translated so many of those manuscripts.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, that dude. I mean, he could write, obviously, but damn.
A very multi-talented man.
The linguistic thing, you know, just amazing, right? The creation of the languages that he did create, right? I mean, just unbelievable. And I know for some people now they read Tolkien and it feels slow, right? Because sort of we've changed.
It was a different type of language, right? Yes. My son, he struggled to get through it just because he's coming from a generation of mangas and animes and everything's like go. Exactly,
Yes, and I do, it does bother me a little bit. I mean, again, I don't want to be that old guy, right? You know,
Get off my porch!
You little bastards! Get off the lawn! I don't want to be that old guy, but I do think that there is a wonderment, right, when language has a moment and a time to develop and bring forth all of this imagery, right, which is what it was. And now we are much more quicker, right? And I do think that there is some loss in that. Now there is also some
We can adapt, though. We can adapt. So, for example, I've got a whole bunch of translations of the Poetic Edda at my house from maybe 16 different professors, and I'd have friends come by and they said, I really want to learn the authentic myths. Can I borrow one of your Eddas? Sure, absolutely. The next day they're coming back, they're like, I can't read this. I can't do it. Yeah. So I spent 3.5 years translating Old Norse into my illuminated Edda to write in a language which is modern, prose that flows. And it's really for that generation that, you know, okay, the language is too archaic, it's too dry. And I want them to have access to those stories, those old stories.
They must, really. I mean, honestly, and you don't want to lose it. You know, it's kind of like it's kind of like railing against moving pictures like they did in the old days, right?
Yeah.
Because it does bring so much more richness, right?
It does.
And time is a factor in our lives. We are living faster than we ever have, and sometimes to slog through a 400-page book that probably today would be a 200-page book.
Yeah.
Right?
Some people are turned off. They look
Yes.
at the size and they're
That's
like,
right.
"Oh, that's too big. Give me
That's
something
right.
small with pictures."
Yes, that's right. Did you meet Mandy, the hatted woman?
Yes, she was the
yes.
one, basically the ringleader of
Yeah,
like,
the
"Hey, you come
ringleader.
back."
That is who she is.
Yeah,
the
she's like the Twitches are
Yeah,
demanding you come back with
There's
the
all
camera.
kinds of problems.
How do people reach you? Where can
Well,
they find
certainly,
you?
first and foremost, we have the absolute worst name of a Facebook group, GUI Game Masters Den of Enlightenment. We have a marvelous Discord group, which
Mm-hmm.
under GUI Cube. And of course, our website is GUICube.com. But seriously, for me, the pinnacle right now of anything I've ever done in this industry is this Guys and Gags thing. I mean, to be able to pay homage to Gary, who really, the impact on my life, my friends' lives, your life, many of us, right, who remember, right? To be able to do that is so special. And I hope people will check out our Kickstarter. You can pre-register. If you want to give some credit, you can go to GUICube.com/GCon. If you don't want to, it could be GUICube.com/back. Okay, so that's the easy one, right? I'm more excited about it than anything I've done very much in my career to be able to do this.
Perfect. It has been a pleasure.
No, you, my friend. Thank you. An honor. An honor.
And thank you for tuning in for our first installment of the Fireside Chat being rebooted.
I am the rebooter.
You are the rebooter. Some Irish whiskey to help the vocal cords restore themselves after a very fun and chatty weekend.
Magnificent. Skull.
Skull.